Hi, I'm Halia, mobility coach for Njoie, and I'm here to show you how to use the MFLEX for your thighs and your quads. Oftentimes, we don't realize that because we're not using other muscles, some muscles are overused. The quad is one of them. What we call in the fitness world is gluteal amnesia, is when we are sitting all day or we're just not completely aware of what our glute muscles and hamstring muscles are supposed to be doing in our body. We tend to overcompensate by using our quads a lot more, which leads to hamstring weakness, but also to hip flexor overuse and strain, and sometimes even pain in the knee and the hip and even feet. It's all related. So today we're going to go through how to loosen up these quad muscles and the inner thigh muscles to avoid the knee pain and the foot pain and the pelvic pain and all that stuff. So we're going to start with quads. We're going to be using the floor as kind of our marker. We're going to place the MFLEX down in front of us, and we're going to sit next to it. Now, if you have a block or blankets and pillows and stuff, it's always really good. You can place them maybe underneath your core or underneath your arms to make yourself as comfortable as possible. And then you're going to slowly come down. You don't have to be, you can use one or both heads. I'm going to focus on one head. So I'm going to actually separate it and place it on the floor, then come down on that one head with my leg. I'm going to keep my core engaged, but not my quad. So I'm going to breathe. This is pretty intense. And then I'm going to lift and lower this knee, this leg, as I release on top of it. Let me show you on this side. So I'm going to lower down. And if you want a little bit less, you can always shift more of your weight onto the side that's not being stretched, and then shimmy your way up or down as you lift and lower and you breathe. The higher you get towards your hip flexor, the more intense it's going to get. So I want you to take a little bit longer time or more breaths when you're up there. And then when you go down, again, make sure to pause, take a few breaths, release, breathe, and then roll off to the side and sit back up. So the next one I'm going to show you is a thigh stretch. This one's pretty cool because you can actually place the MFLEX in between your two legs and get pretty comfortable on the floor. So I want you to keep the distance to whatever is more comfortable for you. You can even expand it to hit higher, closer to your groin, which also needs stretching. So make sure to feel out what your body needs. I'm going to place the MFLEX in between my two legs, and I'm going to climb on top with the other leg. I'm going to use my elbow to come down, and I'm actually putting a block on the floor to protect my head or my neck. And then once I'm here, I'm going to find that space close to my knee, which is probably the most tender, and then I'm going to open up my leg and close it. And this is directly related to knee pain, kneecap pain right here. So I'm going to keep opening and breathing, and then closing and breathing. And again, opening, and maybe even getting it closer to the groin. You can shift this around to get as high or as low as you need, and just making sure to use the movement and your breath to get through is what's going to give you the best release. Okay, now we're going to try the outer thigh or the IT band. This is actually a pretty tough area, and it can be pretty painful. So lots of breath work here and a lot of slow movement. It will take some time, so I want you to designate like 3 to 4 minutes just to this portion of your body. You're going to have the MFLEX next to you. You're going to slide it underneath, and you can start anywhere on your leg, but on the side of your leg. So we're hitting this area. I'm actually going to straighten the bottom leg that I'm going to hit with the MFLEX and bring the top leg on top for some stability. My other hand is right next to me. So If I'm hitting the left side of my body, my left hand is next to me on the floor, and my right leg is on the floor for some stability. Then I'm going to slide the MFLEX underneath, and I'm going to use my right hand as kind of like my guide of how much pressure I'm putting onto the side of my leg. So I'm going to stay here, take a couple deep breaths. This is, like I said, this is pretty painful. However, I'm trying to find the tender spot, so I keep backing off so that I'm not into the pain portion, but into the tender portion. And then as I breathe, I can start to really relax and increase the pressure on that portion of my body. Once I feel like the pressure is enough, I'll move the MFLEX or my body to a different portion or a different section of my outer leg, and then again do the same thing. Inhale, exhale, come back down, release, and then slide off.